Pay a visit to this house, if you dare. This is Sega Masters. Quite the foreboding intro, even if the game behind it doesn't quite live up to it. We're still in the first month of the Master System's run in the US, and we have yet another Sega card on tap, Ghost House, a horror-themed arcade-style platformer. Here you take the role of Mick, a young adventurer looking to recover his family's jewels, which were stolen some time ago and hidden in the mansion of Count Dracula for whatever reason. This recovery effort requires you to bravely venture into the mansion and find the jewels, even if this means battling the various monsters and haunts in your way, including the Vampire Lord himself. Oddly enough, some researchers have suggested that Ghost House has its roots in a somewhat forgotten arcade game Sega pushed out back in 1982, Monster Bash. It was a simple 3-stage jaunt where you had to avoid some baddies while gathering the necessary items in order to obtain the power needed to slay Count Dracula and a couple of his fellow monsters. As you'd expect, it basically came and went without making any real impact on the gaming world. Yet somebody at Sega apparently decided to expand upon that simple concept to create Ghost House, since a few gameplay elements from that earlier coin-op can be found in this title. Your main objective is to find the coffins of Dracula and his 4 clones, since each of them hold one of the 5 valuable gems needed to complete the level. Of course, that's easier said than done, as opening each coffin requires a key, which you can only obtain by battling the vampire's minions, which are crawling all over the place. All you have to defend yourself with, for the most part, are your fists, though you can jump on top of a few monsters to take them out as well. While the mansion itself has a few traps to hamper your efforts, you can actually turn a few of its tricks to your advantage. For instance, walking past a candle bar will cause a knife to fly right at you, yet if you jump on top of the projectile, you can actually wield it like a weapon, though only for a short time. Jumping up and touching an overhead light will freeze everything on the screen for a few seconds. In addition, the doors and windows lining the halls will instantly teleport you to another location, allowing you to make your way to different areas in short order, including a few parts of the level that can only be accessed in this fashion. The controls are simple and mostly responsive, but once again we're dealing with the reverse of the standard NES platformer layout, and some practice is needed to get a handle on. You're also treated to a rather goofy atmosphere throughout your scavenger hunt that doesn't quite fit the theme of this game. The vibrant graphics are decent for what they are, though the enemies are rather silly looking, while a boppy tune serves as the background music and will leave you wishing Sega had went with something a little more gothic. Not to mention quite a few annoying sound effects also plague this game, especially the squeaks as Mick walks anywhere, as if he needs new shoes or something. Once you finally obtain a key, which is randomly dropped from a defeated creepy, you need to seek out one of the 5 coffins in the level to battle Dracula. Opening it will cause the Vampire Lord himself to come out and fight you. At least you get some nice intense music that tries to add some tension to this showdown. Inflict enough damage to reduce Dracula to bones, and you obtain one of the 5 gems, as well as a heart that completely refills your health meter. Then you need to obtain another key from a random baddie, search out the next coffin to battle the next Dracula clone to obtain the next gem, and so forth. However, the gameplay can get frustrating at times. With your fists having a very short range, you're forced to get in very close to your foes to do any damage. However, some of the baddies can keep you at arm's length with ranged attacks, forcing you to take damage as you try to get close enough to land your blows. It also doesn't help that Mick gets knocked around rather easily, often down a ladder or into a fire pit on the bottom floor. You can also find yourself trapped against a wall and helpless to stop a monster from pummeling you until your life meter is depleted. So obtaining the knife is essential to have any chance to succeed, and thankfully it's not too difficult to do so. Once you have all 5 gems in hand, a portal will appear on the top floor that allows you to exit the level and get awarded your bonus points. Then you head off to do it all over again in the next level, which unfolds in almost identical fashion to the last level, save for a different palette and layout. It also throws this mummy into the mix that aggressively chases after you, even being able to climb up and down ladders in its pursuit. Sadly, following that, no more new elements or settings are introduced down the line, and you cycle through the same 3 slight variations in the first level indefinitely with no ending. Once again, you're just left feeling Sega could have thrown in different settings and boss monsters other than Dracula to do battle with, just to give this title some much needed variety. Even Monster Bash had 3 different settings and monsters to contend with. In conclusion, Ghost House is far from a great game, It has a quirky charm about it, and can be fun in short bursts if you're willing to put up with the occasional frustration. But just like other Sega cards, the first 5 minutes are all you need to see everything this title has to offer. And the lack of content and substance means you'll quickly tire of it, since all you have to play for are height scores that can't be recorded. Ghost House may be a nice place to visit, but you won't be staying long.